Today's rapidly evolving digital world, new narrative is unfolding that's both intriguing and alarming. Something very strange is happening, and it's essential to take notice. The emergence of this narrative is intertwined with two seemingly separate yet potentially interconnected phenomena: escalating cybersecurity threats and significant economic challenges. This video aims to delve into these intriguing developments and shed light on their possible implications. In recent times, cybersecurity threats have skyrocketed, with incidents of potential links to nations like China making headlines. January 2024 saw the U.S. grappling with substantial cyber issues as critical infrastructure came under attack. What makes this even more alarming is our society's increasing dependence on digital systems. A significant cyber attack, particularly one aimed at financial infrastructures, could have catastrophic consequences. Simultaneously, an economic conundrum is unfolding. In 2020, a copious amount of U.S. currency was printed, yet the benefits were barely felt by the average citizen. Instead, they are left questioning who the major recipients of this newly minted money were. As inflation continues to rise and the cost of living surges, the purchasing power of the average American is dwindling. There's a strange correlation between these economic challenges and the increase in cybersecurity vulnerabilities. As we navigate through these complexities, it is crucial for the population to stay alert and prepared. Confronting these issues head-on is vital as we brace ourselves for a future that may be significantly different from what we currently anticipate. Stay tuned as we explore this puzzling narrative, shedding light on the strange happenings currently shaping our world. 1. NIC's migrant infrastructure crisis. Known for its resilience, vibrancy, and diversity, the city is currently grappling with a humanitarian and sanitary crisis that has both residents and authorities bewildered. A dramatic surge in migrant numbers has placed an unprecedented strain on the city's infrastructure, revealing its lack of preparedness to support such a significant influx of people. Historically, New York City has been a beacon of hope for immigrants, a place where dreams are born and nurtured. However, the recent wave of migration has challenged this image, exposing the city's infrastructural limitations and raising questions about its capacity to maintain its sanctuary city status. More than 175,000 migrants have made their way to New York, a city that has long held a policy of providing shelter to anyone in need. However, as the numbers continue to rise, the city's resources are being stretched thin, leading to a crisis of unprecedented proportions. The strain on the infrastructure is most evident in the glaring lack of restrooms for the migrants, contributing to a growing sanitary crisis. The removal of porta potties due to unsanitary conditions has exacerbated the situation, transforming streets into de facto toilets and posing a significant public health risk. This issue, while seemingly mundane, is indicative of the broader problem at hand. The city's inability to provide basic amenities for its new inhabitants. Mayor Adams has warned of a worsening situation, with the Roosevelt Hotel intake center and sidewalks overwhelmed by people in need. The intake center, once a symbol of the city's commitment to helping migrants, has now become a stark reminder of the crisis at hand. With migrants forced to sleep on floors or huddled on sidewalks in the cold, the city's efforts to manage the crisis appear increasingly futile. Despite calls for expedited work authorization from Washington, the response has been tepid at best. The lack of swift action from the federal government has left the city to grapple with the crisis on its own, further highlighting the disconnect between policy and reality on the ground. The human face of this crisis is seen in migrants like Mohammed and Ahmed from Africa, who find themselves in dire need of basic amenities such as food, water, and restrooms. Their plight underscores the urgency of the situation and the need for effective solutions. Yet, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, the spirit of resilience shines through. Despite the adversities they face, these migrants continue to hold on to their dreams of a better future, making the struggle all the more poignant. This unfolding crisis in New York City serves as a wake-up call for other cities. It underscores the need for robust infrastructure and preparedness to support populations in need, particularly in times of unexpected crises. The current situation is a stark reminder of the challenges that come with being a sanctuary city and the need for comprehensive policies that go beyond mere rhetoric. The crisis also highlights the urgent need for cooperation and coordination between local, state, and federal authorities. The tepid response from Washington underscores the disconnect between different levels of government and the need for a unified approach to tackle such crises. The second point in our series takes us to an unsuspecting location. We buy any car dealership where an altercation spiraled into a violent assault, leaving one man gravely injured and raising serious questions about transparency. and justice. Chad Shipley, who only intended to sell his sister's car, found himself in the midst of a nightmare when he was assaulted by dealership worker Sherman James Jr. Their confrontation resulted in Shipley sustaining a fractured skull and broken teeth, injuries so severe they required extensive medical interventions and a long road to recovery. While altercations can occur anywhere, the severity of this incident is startling. A seeming routine transaction at a car dealership escalated to an extent where an individual's life was put in danger. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of life and the potential for violence lurking in everyday situations. The incident raises numerous questions. What led to such an extreme escalation? Could the situation have been handled differently? These questions are compounded by the fact that both Shipley and James were charged with simple assault, despite the grave injuries sustained by Shipley. The charge seems to downplay the severity of the incident, leading to further confusion. The initial police report added to the ambiguity by only mentioning James's name, omitting Shipley's entirely. This omission raises concerns about the handling of the incident by the police and whether all parties involved were treated fairly in the aftermath of the event. The Raleigh police and EMs were called to the scene, indicating the severity of the incident. Yet, the details remain unclear due to withheld video footage. CBS 17's unsuccessful attempt to obtain the incident video casts doubt on the transparency of the event and leaves one wondering what exactly transpired that day. The dealership's silence on the matter adds another layer of mystery. Their refusal to comment on the incident leaves a void filled only by speculation. The corporate office, while condemning the incident, failed to address the violence specifically, adding to the growing list of unanswered questions. This incident and its subsequent handling have sparked concerns and demands for clarity. The public is left wondering about the circumstances that led to Shipley's severe injuries. The lack of transparency surrounding the event has fueled suspicions and created an environment of distrust. The story of Chad Shipley and Sherman James Jr. serves as a grim reminder of how everyday situations can quickly escalate into violence. It highlights the importance of conflict management and escalation techniques in all aspects of life, including seemingly mundane transactions at a car dealership. Furthermore, the incident underscores the need for transparency in crisis management. Withheld information creates an environment of suspicion and mistrust, which can further exacerbate an already tense situation. Open communication is vital in promoting understanding and facilitating healing in the aftermath of such incidents. 3. Escalating U.S.-Iran tensions. The tensions with Iran are escalating, posing a significant threat to us and global security. This ongoing saga of conflict and antagonism is not just a tale of two nations, but a complex web of international relations that could have far-reaching implications for world peace. The current tensions can be traced back to the Iranian Revolution. Since then, antagonism toward the U.S. and its ally, Israel, has been a persistent element in Iranian policy. As Key McFarland, an ex-Trump advisor, pointed out, Iran's objectives seem to be twofold to expel America from the Middle East and annihilate Israel. These objectives, rooted in deep-seated ideological differences and historical grievances, have been a driving force behind the escalating tensions. The Biden administration finds itself walking a delicate tightrope. On one hand, it must avoid appeasement, which could embolden Iran and further destabilize the region. On the other hand, it must prevent a full-scale war, which could have disastrous consequences not only for the countries directly involved, but also for global peace and security. This delicate balance is further complicated by Iran's increasingly aggressive actions, both directly and via proxies. These actions are escalating fears of an unwanted war and raising questions about the effectiveness of the current diplomatic approach. One of the most alarming aspects of this situation is the potential declaration of nuclear capability. This could spark a regional arms race, with countries like Saudi Arabia and Turkey potentially developing their own nuclear programs in response. The prospect of a nuclear-armed Middle East raises the stakes significantly and adds a new layer of urgency to the international efforts to resolve the tensions. Another concerning aspect is the disregard for mass casualties demonstrated by Iran's proxies. This may render traditional deterrent strategies ineffective, as the fear of mass casualties, which typically acts as a deterrent to conflict, seems to hold little sway. This raises difficult questions about how to effectively manage the situation and prevent further escalation. The U.S. and its Arab allies are attempting to navigate this complex situation, which is further complicated by historical U.S. attempts at imposing democracy in the Middle East. These attempts have often been met with resistance and have contributed to the deep-seated resentment towards the U.S. in the region. Adding another layer of complexity to the situation are the strained relations between the U.S. and Israel. Now, the two nations have historically been close allies, but recent tensions have impacted their approach to the conflict. This strain could potentially hinder the coordination and cooperation necessary to effectively address the situation. Finally, ensuring the freedom of navigation in crucial areas like the Red Sea is a shared international responsibility. This is essential for global trade and the smooth functioning of the global economy. Any disruption to this could have far-reaching economic implications, adding yet another dimension to the potential fallout from the escalating tensions. 4. Rethinking the American dream. An intriguing debate surrounding the perception that societal changes are controlled by powerful elites. This belief is deeply rooted in societal discourse, often leading to comparisons with fictional villains like Dr. Evil, who orchestrate events from behind the scenes. But could such a narrative hold true in reality? Or is it merely a product of speculation and suspicion? To unravel this mystery, we delve into the world of homeownership, a fundamental aspect of the American dream that is seemingly slipping out of reach for many. Is this a natural consequence of economic dynamics, or is there a deliberate push towards a society of renters? The shift from homeownership to renting has profound implications for wealth distribution and social stability, making this a topic of significant concern. A crucial piece of this puzzle lies in the monetary policies adopted in 2020. There was a massive increase in the money supply, a move aimed at stimulating the economy in the face of the pandemic-induced downturn. However, the effects of this policy were far from uniform across different segments of the population. Inflation, a direct consequence of the increased money supply, has had a profound impact on everyday people. The rising costs of goods and services have made life increasingly difficult for many, particularly those on lower incomes. In contrast, asset owners have seen their wealth increase as higher inflation often leads to increased asset prices. This disparity in the effects of inflation further fuels the perception of societal changes being orchestrated by powerful elite. There are suggestions of a deliberate plan to reshape society to the benefit of a select few. This theory posits that the move away from homeownership and the resulting wealth disparity is not accidental, but a calculated move by powerful figures. While this remains speculative, the alignment of these developments with the interests of the elite adds fuel to the fire. Complicating matters are concerns about cybersecurity breaches at power stations and potential foreign interference. These incidents raise fears about the vulnerability of our societies and the potential for manipulation by external forces. They serve as a stark reminder of the need for robust security measures and vigilance against potential threats. In light of these developments, there are growing calls to question official narratives and remain alert about societal changes. While it's easy to accept information at face value, the strange happenings around us underscore the importance of critical thinking and informed questioning. Accepting narratives without scrutiny can lead to complacency and undermine our ability to recognize and respond to societal changes effectively. The warning signs point towards a potential future where personal ownership is rare and happiness is unattainable for many. This dystopian vision strikes at the heart of the American dream, raising fears about the direction in which our society is heading. The prospect of such a future underscores the importance of addressing the issues we face today, from wealth inequality to housing affordability. 5. Chase deposits mysteriously vanish. Chase Bank customers have been encountering missing deposits, causing distress and financial issues, and highlighting the vulnerability of individuals and small businesses when banking systems fail. Carla Garland, a physical therapist, found herself at the center of this bewildering situation. She deposited $13,500 into her account to pay her staff and bills, only to find that the money had inexplicably failed to appear in her account. In an industry where timely payments are crucial for smooth operations, such a mishap can have far-reaching consequences. It can disrupt the entire chain of payments, leading to financial distress not only for Carla, but also for her staff who depend on their salaries to meet their own financial obligations. Greg Wright, another customer, found himself in a similar predicament. His deposit was not credited to his account, leaving him in a state of financial limbo. The lack of access to funds that rightfully belonged to him presented an unexpected hurdle, potentially disrupting his financial planning and commitments. Chase Bank cited system issues as the cause of these problems. However, they failed to provide immediate resolutions or clear communication about when the issues would be resolved. This lack of transparency and responsiveness added to the customer's distress, creating a sense of uncertainty and mistrust. Customers were left wondering if their hard-earned money was safe and when they would regain access to their funds. These incidents serve as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of small business operations when banking systems fail. Small businesses often operate on thin margins with little room for financial mishaps. Missing deposit can throw their entire operation into disarray, leading to missed payments, strained relationships with employees and suppliers, and potential damage to their reputation. However, amidst the chaos and confusion, Carla and Greg's persistence and advocacy led to the bank taking action to resolve their deposit issues. Their experiences underscore the importance of standing up for one's rights and persisting in the face of adversity. It is a testament to the power of individual agency, even in situations where the odds seem stacked against us. The situation also underscores the importance of keeping deposit receipts and monitoring bank accounts vigilantly. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook these simple steps. However, as Carla and Greg's experiences show, they can be crucial in resolving financial discrepancies and safeguarding our financial health. 6. Wage growth versus energy cost. At first glance, economic trends might seem far removed from the everyday experiences of most people. However, as we delve deeper, we realize that these macroeconomic shifts have profound implications for individuals, businesses, and nations. A prime example of this interplay between macroeconomic trends and individual lives is evident in Germany. High energy costs in the country are significantly reducing consumer spending power. German consumers' wages are not keeping up with the surge in energy costs, putting a strain on household budgets and dampening consumer sentiment. This development is particularly concerning given that consumer spending is a key driver of economic growth. A decline in spending power could potentially slow down the German economy, with ripple effects on its trade partners and the global economy. In contrast, the U.S. presents a more optimistic picture. Wage growth in the country has been outpacing energy costs, signaling a strong economy. This trend suggests that American households have more disposable income, which could potentially boost consumer spending and contribute to economic growth. However, it's important to note that economic conditions can change rapidly, and ongoing vigilance is necessary to navigate potential challenges. Global trade issues are further complicating the economic landscape. The blockage in the Red Sea, for instance, has caused shipping rates to increase, affecting economies worldwide. Germany, with its export-oriented economy, is particularly vulnerable to such disruptions. The country's economy, heavily reliant on trade with China, is being impacted by these shipping issues. This could potentially slow down Germany's economic growth and have knock-on effects on its trading partners. The U.S., while currently enjoying robust wage growth, should monitor these global economic developments closely. These trends could foreshadow future shifts that may affect the U.S. economy and personal financial health. For instance, a slowdown in Germany could potentially impact the U.S., given the significant trade links between the two countries. Similarly, increased shipping rates could raise the cost of imports, affecting American businesses and consumers. The interconnectedness of the world economy means that regional shifts can cascade globally, making international events relevant for us consumers and investors. An economic slowdown in one part of the world can quickly spread to other regions, affecting global markets and individual portfolios. This interconnectedness underscores the importance of staying informed about global economic developments, even those that might seem far removed from one's immediate context. 7 U.S. job market trends. In the dynamic landscape of the U.S. job market, recent trends signal transformative shifts with broad implications for the workforce. The unemployment rate has shown a marked decrease, indicating a rebound from the historic high seen during the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. This recovery, however, is characterized by new patterns such as increased remote work options and flexible work schedules. These changes reflect a rising demand for work-life balance among employees and a greater recognition of productivity outside traditional office settings. The acceleration of technological adoption is another noteworthy trend, leading to an upsurge in demand for tech-savvy professionals across numerous industries. Artificial intelligence, high machine learning, and data analysis skills are at a premium, Promoting a surge in upskilling initiatives, companies are investing in employee training to bridge the gap in digital competencies as they pivot towards data-driven decision-making processes. Concurrently, the gig economy continues to expand, spurred by the proliferation of digital platforms that allow for freelance opportunities in a variety of sectors. While this presents a degree of flexibility for workers, it also introduces concerns related to job security and benefits, highlighting the need for new labor policies to address the evolving nature of work. An undercurrent to these trends is the continued drive for diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace. Efforts to create a more equitable job market have gained momentum, with companies adopting strategies to ensure equal opportunity and combat systemic barriers that have historically affected underrepresented groups. Reflecting on this confluence of trends, the U.S. job market appears to be at a crossroads. The rise of remote work and the gig economy coexist with a persistent quest for stable, well-paying jobs that offer long-term security and advancement potential. Moreover, the emphasis on technical skills necessitates a forward-thinking approach to education and workforce development. In conclusion, the U.S. job market shows a robust resilience and a capacity for adaptation in the face of technological and societal change. Nonetheless, the quest for an inclusive, equitable job market remains a pressing challenge, reminding policymakers, employers, and workers alike that the pursuit of progress is an ongoing journey, not a destination. In light of these multifaceted economic and job market trends, we find ourselves navigating a complex global ecosystem that's continuously evolving. The ripple effects of economic shifts in places like Germany have far-reaching impacts on international trade and individual livelihoods, emphasizing the necessity for vigilance in our personal and professional financial strategies. Similarly, trends in the U.S. job market highlight the need for adaptability in the workforce, the push for equitable employment practices, and the transformative nature of technology across all sectors. As we turn the page on this discussion, I invite you to reflect and share. What steps are you taking to adapt to the changing economic landscapes and job market trends in your industry or personal life? Drop a comment below with your insights and experiences.